Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm BenRPG and I am going to be discussing Outriders with you guys today. We're going to get into character customization and the options menu so you guys can see what I have set up. I'll give brief explanations of each and then we will eventually get into gameplay, not within this video. So if you guys don't need to see character customization and you don't care particularly about the options that you can set up within the game, go ahead and skip ahead into the series. I will get those videos out shortly, and then you'll be able to watch them and see what the gameplay is like. For those of you interested in character customization options and the options menu in general, and why I have things set up the way I do, stick around, grab a snack, kick back, and enjoy. Let's get right into it, guys. So first I'm going to log into the menu, the authenticating screen. A lot of players have gotten stuck here, but thankfully I haven't had many problems with the game, guys, ever since I've been playing it. I've been playing it off and on since release. You can see my unholy list of characters. I have quite a few. I'm actually going to delete this guy for the purposes of this video so I can make space and create a new one with the same premise. We're going to get into options first, and then I will go over character customization. If you guys are wondering, I'm running the game on an RTX 3080, so I am on my computer. And again, it's been pretty smooth for me, so I've been blessed, I guess, thankfully. So we're going to go over gameplay options first. You have your sprint mode toggle. And before I even explain these, I will say the developer did a great job of putting out explanations of each menu item over to the side here that you see, where you see sprint mode. Selective sprint is active when the button is held or toggled. But I'm going over these just in case you guys enjoy that. So I will continue on. Aim down sights, I have set to hold. I just prefer that. So whenever you hit left trigger, you'll aim and then right trigger to fire, and then as soon as you release left trigger, you'll stop aiming so you can see more, especially if you're using things with scopes. Auto set maximum world tier. So this one takes a little bit of explaining, but the game basically has a world tier that increases as you kill guys and proceed with the story, which makes the game harder. So for those of you that like brutal difficulties, you can turn it on if you want. However, that being said, I don't recommend it. As you play through the game, the higher the difficulty is, it gets quite punishing, especially when you're playing solo, which I tend to do. So I don't recommend it in that sense. And the benefits, you don't get extra XP per kill. So it doesn't matter what world tier you're set at. So if you're somebody who just likes more of a casual experience, or someone who likes punishing difficulty, you will get the same experience. The caveat there being, when you increase the world tier, the equipable gear that you will find is higher, can be a number of levels higher than your current level. So that's how when you get to end game, you'll have a few more options as far as gear goes, and maybe mods depending upon what you find. But I honestly don't think it matters. I think 4 or 5 is pretty punishing enough that it doesn't make the game super easy, but still fun for those of you that like a challenge. Auto loot minimum rarity. What this does is gives you the option when you're like running through a zone. Let's say you kill some guys and accidentally forget some gear on the ground that you missed. It'll automatically go into your inventory when you despawn or go to a different region or die, etc. It'll get placed in your inventory. I like to keep it common because I deconstruct everything to create gear. So I don't know, if you want to set it higher, you can, and then it'll only automatically collect that tier of rarity. Default game privacy. For those of you that like to play with others, you can set this beyond closed. I have it closed because I tend to play solo, like I said. You can set it to open, meaning anybody can join your game, or you can set it to friends only, meaning, obviously anybody in your friends list can join. Text language, I've set to English, as I wouldn't be able to read anything otherwise. Subtitles are on. I'm one of those people that just like subtitles. I always have. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. Audio language, again, English. Helmet, you can toggle whether or not your armor for your helmet is set to on or off. I have noticed in-game through cinematics, they always take off your helmet. Not sure why. Just do. But otherwise, I like to see all of my armor, and it's total, so I leave it on. Enable crossplay. I have it set to on because a couple of times I have played with other people. They've been on Xbox. And thankfully, I haven't had many crossplay issues. I know that was a concern for quite a while, where people were getting disconnected like crazy. Although when I have played, With Xbox players, it's just been usually one other person and myself, although you can only have a maximum of 3 teammates or total players within an area when you play with people. So I don't know, but it's worked for me, thankfully. Cinematic camera smoothing. This one's kind of important because when the game came out, for some reason, the cameraman for the in-game cinematics was awful and very shaky, very, very shaky, to the point of nausea-inducing shakiness. So I have it set to 0.5, and I find that to be a perfect level of smoothness where all my in-game cinematics look fairly stable, like the guy may have used a tripod or something. So I'm happy about that. I would leave it there. I'd recommend that. Razer Chroma effects. That's just if you have any Razer devices. My only Razer device is my headset, and I can't see the colors anyway, but I leave it on. We'll skip over to audio. So background sound I have to on just in case while I'm doing this video I need to switch to anything you guys that doesn't cut out. Master volume 10, dialogue volume 10, sound effects 10, music 3. Again, that's because I'm creating content, so I just want to make sure that you guys can hear it okay and you don't have pummeling music playing in your eardrums. That's why I leave that down, but you can definitely toggle these. They're all on sliders. Output device is just set to my headphones. HUD, I leave everything on because I like to see everything. If you're one of those players that likes more of a cinematic experience, you could turn any of these off, or if you just, I don't know, don't need to see certain things, feel free to, but again, I leave all of mine on. You can go through and it'll explain what each one is again, just to the right. I'll skip over to display. I prefer full screen, just because I'm using one monitor strictly for gaming. What kind of monitor I'm using? My resolution is in 2K, not 4K. The current monitor I have set up is a 2K monitor. I wanted to do 4K videos for you guys, but it seems like they take quite a long time to upload, so I'm gonna see how long 2K videos are. If for some reason you want me to bump up my resolution to 4K, I can use that on another monitor, but we'll see how this works. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. NVIDIA DLSS, or Deep Learning Super Sampling, I have set to quality, just to increase game performance. VSync I've set to on, just because I don't want any screen tearing. Usually is an issue, but just in case. And I haven't noticed an increase in lag at all with controls or button presses, etc. I don't have anything enabled for an FPS limit, turning on or off capping frames per second. I'm not worried about that. Cinematic max FPS, I turned all the way up to 120. Window lock off. Field of view, I have set to 90. You can set that higher, it just makes the screen wider, basically. So, and since I have a widescreen monitor, I wanted to turn that up. Brightness I've set to 1, motion blur I've set to on. You can turn that off if you want. Some people don't like the effects of motion blur. I don't mind it too much. Display advanced, I have everything set to ultra, because my computer can handle the load. If you are having issues, you can turn any of these individual settings down. Controls, I leave everything set to the controls that the game has. I don't use a mouse to aim. I use my controller, like I said before. Personal favorite of mine. You prefer using a controller. But you can change your sensitivity, acceleration, etc. here. And then your controller functions also. And then accessibility. I don't do anything with accessibility because I don't need to, but if you did need to increase font size, high contrast mode, descriptive subtitles, etc., it's all here for you to do. So we'll escape out of this. I will go back to character creation, and here it is, guys. The character creation part of this video. You can choose male or female, and the first thing I will point out is I just noticed his hair is very red and his eyes are super blue, and I was like, ooh, pretty. But then I look at this guy and I'm like, his hair is very brown and his eyes are like a kind of blue, maybe? Just interesting side note. So male or female, these options do not matter. It doesn't affect the gameplay at all. It's just what you prefer. So I'll go with male. And then we'll start with face. You have 8 face options. There are no sliders for these guys, so it doesn't, what you see is what you're gonna get. Like you can't change jaw, chin, lips, ears, eyes, eyebrows. It's just literally this, and then skin color. I like this option the most. I don't know why, it kind of reminds me of Jeff Bridges. Skin color, you can make yourself lighter skinned or darker skinned as your preference. Eye color, you can change your eye color here. It's kind of noticeable, at least on my screen. Depending upon the device you're viewing, you may not be able to see it as well. And you get helmets fairly quickly and early on in this game, which cover your head anyway, except during cinematic experiences, or if you decided to toggle your helmet off in the options menu. So, yeah. Choose your preference, but to me, I can't really see a difference anyway. Hair, you have a few options here. Again, this is just preference. You can rotate your character around with the up, down, like with the left and right buttons on your arrow pad, or with your controller, depending upon what you're playing with. Just so you can get an idea of what the front and back looks like, if you care. I like to typically go with the first, just because I think it looks nice. And again, I get a helmet on my head pretty quickly anyway, so I don't really look at my head too much. Facial hair. I don't know why, but this is one of my favorite parts about games and RPG creation tools. I like facial hair. I'm not a fan of like just the 5 o'clock shadow. I don't know. I like more facial hair, and I don't think games have enough facial hair options. It's usually like this, this, and this. But that's just me. So I'm going to go something a little burly. Yeah. All right. Then hair color. We have brown, white. Kind of white, brown, darker brown, and black. I like white. I don't know. I've just always been a fan of white hair. I think it looks cool. So we'll head over to markings. Here's all of your scar options. I don't particularly like scarring up my face, so I always go with nothing. But if you did want to, they're here for you. Piercings. Some are on both sides, some are not. So like all the cool ones, I think, like the triple piercings, I really wish they had on the other side of the character, because I just think it would look cool. But yeah, they don't. And my favorite anyway is the one that looks like stickers, which is this. It's supposed to be like an eyebrow piercing, because it says piercings, but I don't know where it would be pierced, unless it's like literally coming out the back of your head in a bar shape, because it looks more like stickers. We're gonna point that out. But we'll go with it. And then we can create character. You can also randomize this process if you so desire, or if you don't care about the individual features. So I'll click on create character, and you're at character name already. And this video is less than 15 minutes. Feeling good about it. All right. So you can click the dice if you wish to randomize your name. I'm going to just create the name that I had before I deleted it. And then you will click save character, which will take you back to your character list. You can see I have a few too many characters, all for reasons of doing different things. And you can quit to desktop with X, proceed to lobby, which will get you into the game, escape to return to lobby, or Z to go back into the options menu. And there you have it, guys. That is my first video. So proud of myself. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or otherwise, please leave them for me. I need you to grow as a creator, so I won't know what I'm doing right or wrong unless I get feedback. So I super appreciate it. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching the video, and I hope you guys come back for the next one. Until then, stay safe and have fun.